Hello, dear listeners and followers. Welcome back to Unbreakable-You. I am Olga Binyaminov, your healing and empowerment coach, and today I want to continue what we started over the last 2 weeks. We talked about character, and this whole month of April, I'll be covering character. So, the first week we talked about who pain turns you into. And then last week we talked about where you abandon yourself. And if you've really been doing this work over the last 2 weeks, you probably had a specific realization of why does this keep happening to me? And I'm sure you've asked yourself, why do I keep attracting the same type of person? Why do I keep attracting the same dynamics, the same emotional experience, just in a different form, different face, but same feeling? So today, I want to answer these questions because the truth is, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are wired for. So let's break this down into what it's not, okay? So it's not bad luck. Your patterns and the fact that you're attracting specific type of partners is not bad luck. It's not timing, and it's not because all the good ones are taken, which a lot of us is saying. It's a pattern. It's a pattern that is subconscious. It's a pattern that is emotional, and it is a pattern that has to do with your identity. And this is something that Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches very deeply. He teaches that your personality creates your personal reality. I'm going to repeat that again because that's a strong sentence. Your personality creates your personal reality. So if your internal world hasn't changed, your external experience won't change either. You will keep attracting the same emotionally unavailable partners. You will keep attracting the same inconsistency and the same confusion because it matches something very familiar inside of you. So this is where it gets very powerful. You're not attracting to what is best for you. You are attracting to what's familiar, or at least what feels familiar for your nervous system. And as we touched on it before, from attached, your nervous system is drawn to emotional patterns that are recognized. So if you experienced inconsistent love, emotional distance, and uncertainty, then you experience calm, stability, healthy love, it might feel boring to you. We talked about this last month as well. It might feel unfamiliar, and it might even feel unsafe because you're so used to this chaos that chaotic situation feels like chemistry. So I want to go deeper into this because it's not about attraction. It's not just about the attraction. It's about your identity. Because you don't just attract certain people, you also accept certain people. You stay when it doesn't serve you. You invest in a relationship because you think you can do better. You tolerate because you think that something is wrong with you. And that comes from your identity. There's a book that's called The Mountain Is You, and it teaches that your life changes the moment your identity changes. So if your particular identity is I have to earn love, or I have to prove my worth of being loved, or I don't want to be alone, then that behavior will match that. You will overgive, you will overstay, and you will over explain. So as your character gets shaped by those repeated choices, you keep getting the same patterns. So how do you actually change this? And you change that not just intellectually, but emotionally. You rewire. And rewiring starts with the very first foundation of awareness and making new decisions. You need to interpret the patterns, catch yourself in real time. When you tell yourself this feels familiar, ask yourself, is this healthy for me? Even though that chaotic emotion feels like something I'm used to, does it serve me? You need to start choosing differently, even when it feels uncomfortable. Don't text, don't chase, don't explain. You need to learn how to regulate your emotions, because your nervous system will want to go back to what is familiar and known. So there is a way for you to start regulating your emotions, and that's where growth begins. Build your new identity. Start seeing yourself as someone who is chosen, not someone who chases. Tell yourself, I am someone who is respected, not someone that tolerates. And act from that place of these specific statements. The moment where your character begins to grow, that's the moment that your character begins to build. This is where you start forming the person that you want to be. Not when things are easy, but when you feel the urge to fall back into your old patterns and you choose differently. That's character. That's power. That's transformation. Because now you are no longer reacting from your past. You are responding from your future self. I want to leave you with this. You need to remember that you're not stuck, and you're not your patterns. And patterns can change. They can be changed if you start choosing differently. You don't need to be a different person. You just need to have a different identity. When you change who you are, you change what you attract, what you accept, and even what you allow. If this resonates with you, and if you've tired of repeating the same patterns, this is exactly the work I do in coaching, because awareness and responsibility are very powerful. But rewiring is where your life actually changes. Message me if you're ready to break that cycle for good. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, you are not your past patterns. You are your next decision. I'll see you again in week 4, when we'll continue talking about the most powerful thing, and that's boundaries. Thank you for joining me today. See you soon.